In the latter half of the 20th century, China was a nation emerging from a tumultuous period. The echoes of past struggles were still fresh, and the country was grappling with the aftermath of significant political and social upheaval. The Cultural Revolution had left its economy in shambles. Factories were outdated, and productivity was low. The scars of this period were visible in every aspect of Chinese life. The country was largely isolated from the rest of the world. Poverty was widespread, especially in rural areas where many struggled to meet basic needs. The isolation meant limited access to global markets and technologies. Few could have predicted the dramatic transformation that was about to unfold. The seeds of change were being planted, and a new era of reform and opening up was on the horizon. China was a sleeping giant, but its slumber was about to end. The quiet countryside and tranquil cities were on the brink of a monumental shift. The world watched with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. International observers speculated on China's potential, wondering if it could overcome its challenges and emerge as a significant player on the global stage. Could this impoverished nation, burdened by a legacy of political turmoil, truly rise to become a global power? The question lingered in the minds of many as China embarked on a path of unprecedented change. The answer, as we now know, is a resounding yes. Through a series of bold reforms and strategic initiatives, China began to transform its economy and society at an astonishing pace. China's journey to superpower status is one of the most remarkable stories of the modern era. From technological advancements to infrastructural marvels, the nation's progress has been nothing short of extraordinary. The sleeping giant had not only awakened, but had also redefined its place in the world. The architect of China's remarkable transformation was Deng Xiaoping. A pragmatic leader, Deng Xiaoping recognized the need for fundamental change. In 1978, he initiated a series of economic reforms that would set China on a path to unprecedented growth. These reforms marked a decisive break from the rigid, centrally planned economy of the Mao Zedong era. Deng Xiaoping understood that for China to prosper, it needed to embrace market forces. He famously declared, "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." This pragmatic approach, focused on results rather than ideology, would prove to be the key to China's success. Deng Xiaoping's reforms were wide-ranging and impactful. He dismantled the communes that had been the backbone of China's agricultural system. Farmers were given greater autonomy and allowed to sell their surplus in the open market. This led to a surge in agricultural productivity, boosting rural incomes and laying the foundation for broader economic growth. Recognizing the need for capital and expertise, Deng Xiaoping opened China's doors to foreign investment. Special economic zones were established, offering tax breaks and other incentives to attract foreign companies. This influx of foreign investment brought with it not only capital, but also new technologies and management practices. The impact of Deng Xiaoping's reforms was nothing short of transformative. China's economy boomed, experiencing double-digit growth rates for several consecutive years. Millions were lifted out of poverty as new industries sprang up and cities expanded at an astonishing pace. The sleeping giant had awakened, and the world took notice. China's economic transformation was fueled by a potent combination of factors: a vast and increasingly well-educated workforce, abundant natural resources, a rapidly developing infrastructure, and a relentless drive to succeed. The country became the world's factory floor, churning out everything from clothing and toys to electronics and automobiles. Section 5. China on the world stage, a growing global influence. As China's economic might grew, so too did its global influence. Over the past few decades, China has transformed from a largely agrarian society into an economic powerhouse, boasting the second largest economy in the world. This rapid growth has not only reshaped its own society, but has also had profound implications for the global economy. The country became a key player in international trade, its goods flooding markets around the world. From electronics to textiles, Chinese products became ubiquitous, driving down costs and making a wide array of goods accessible to consumers globally. This surge in exports has been a cornerstone of China's economic strategy, allowing it to accumulate vast foreign reserves. Chinese companies, once content to manufacture products for foreign brands, began developing their own brands and competing on the global stage. Giants like Huawei, Alibaba, and BYD have become household names, pushing the boundaries of technology and innovation. These companies are not just competing, they are leading in sectors like telecommunications, e-commerce, and electric vehicles. China's growing economic clout translated into greater political influence. The Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure project spanning multiple continents, is a testament to China's ambitions to reshape global trade routes and foster economic ties. This initiative has seen China invest billions in developing infrastructure in partner countries, further cementing its role as a global leader. The country became a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council and joined the World Trade Organization. These memberships have given China a significant voice in international affairs, allowing it to influence global policies and trade regulations. China's participation in these organizations underscores its commitment to being an active player on the world stage. It forged closer ties with developing nations, particularly in Africa and Latin America, securing access to vital resources and expanding its diplomatic reach. Through investments in infrastructure, education, and healthcare, China has built strong partnerships that benefit both its economy and those of its partner countries. These relationships are not just about economics. They are about building a network of allies and creating a new global order. Section 6. The price of progress, human rights and environmental concerns. China's rapid economic development came at a cost. The country's environment suffered as factories belched out pollution and rivers turned black with industrial waste. Labor standards were often lax, with workers facing long hours, low wages, and unsafe working conditions. Concerns also mounted about China's human rights record. The government's suppression of dissent, its crackdown on religious freedom, and its persecution of ethnic minorities drew international condemnation. Critics argued that China's economic progress had come at the expense of its people's basic freedoms. Section 7. A force to be reckoned with, China's military might. As China's economic and political power grew, so too did its military might. The country embarked on a massive military modernization program, investing heavily in advanced weaponry, including aircraft carriers, stealth fighters, and hypersonic missiles. China's growing military assertiveness raised alarms in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. Its territorial disputes in the South China Sea, its saber-rattling toward Taiwan, and its increasingly frequent military exercises were seen as signs of a more assertive and potentially expansionist China. Section 8. Superpower status, China's ascent to global dominance. By the dawn of the 21st century, China's transformation was undeniable. In 2010, it surpassed Japan to become the world's second-largest economy. By 2019, it had become a global leader in technology, with companies like Huawei, Alibaba, and Tencent rivaling their Western counterparts. China's rise to superpower status marked a profound shift in the global balance of power. The world was no longer dominated by a single superpower, the United States. A new era of multipolarity had dawned, with China challenging the existing world order and seeking to reshape it in its own image. Section 9. The future of the world, China's role in the 21st century. As we navigate through the complexities of the modern era, understanding China's evolving role on the global stage becomes increasingly crucial. China's rise as a superpower presents both opportunities and challenges for the world. Its rapid economic growth and expanding influence are reshaping global dynamics in unprecedented ways. On the one hand, China's economic dynamism has lifted millions out of poverty, transforming the lives of countless individuals and families. The country's industrial prowess and manufacturing capabilities have made it a vital player in the global supply chain. This economic surge has created new markets for goods and services, fostering international trade and investment. Chinese consumers are now a driving force in the global economy, influencing trends and demand across various sectors. Its technological innovations have the potential to address some of the world's most pressing problems. From advancements in artificial intelligence to breakthroughs in renewable energy, China's contributions to technology are paving the way for a more sustainable future. On the other hand, China's authoritarian government, its human rights abuses, and its strict control over information and dissent have raised significant ethical and moral concerns. The lack of political freedoms and the suppression of dissenting voices continue to be points of contention. Additionally, its increasingly assertive foreign policy has raised concerns about its intentions and its impact on the rules-based international order. China's territorial claims and military activities in regions like the South China Sea have led to tensions with neighboring countries and the international community. The future of the world will depend in no small part on how China chooses to wield its newfound power. The international community watches closely as China's decisions will shape the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. As we look to the future, it is clear that China's role in the 21st century will be pivotal. Whether it acts as a force for global cooperation or a source of conflict will determine the trajectory of international relations and the stability of the world order.